Greetings Earthlings, today you join me from the innermost compound of our ramp. Now, over the years I've been through many skateboarding gimmicks, dozens in fact, and I've found some absolute stinkers and some bangers, so this week I'm going to be going over all the stinkers and why you should avoid them. Let's get into number one, the flip strips. So you may be wondering, what in the goddamn jumping Jehoshaphat is a flip strip? This is essentially a long strip of 3M tape that you stick to the board on the upper side before you put the grip tape on, mind you. And then what it's meant to do is it has a little lip on this side. So like if you come here real close, you can see that it's a slight bump on one side, like there, and it's flat and sticky on this side once you peel back the 3M layer. Now, you would put this, it curves mind you, you would put this around here so that the curve follows the nose of your board. You may be wondering, why the hell would you put something under your grip tape? Isn't that going to leave lumps and bumps? Well, yes, it is, and that's actually the total point of these. They're essentially made so that when you have your grip tape on, you have a little lip, a little bump, a little raised section around the edge that gives you more of a platform to flick from. So imagine your board set up as normal, but instead of being completely flat, it has a little bump here, and you can put one on the other side and have a little bump here. And the idea is that when you flick, your foot will roll off that bump and give you more of a flip. Now, I tested these for, I think I tested them twice. The first time, you get a pack of 2 when you buy them. I tested these the first time and it completely ripped and I didn't get it on properly, so we had to use the second one straight away. Might have been user error, but to be honest, the product, it's just not that. I can't remember the price of this one, but I'll put it on screen right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for it when people have ideas to make skateboarding more fun or to make it easier for beginners. I love that. But these, they're just not it. And the last thing I want is for you to waste your money on something that's not gonna deliver what it says on the tin. The idea for these are, they make your flip tricks easier, they make it easier to catch that lip of the board when you're flicking. In my personal opinion, I tried these twice, got one of my friends to try them. They really were not it. I would give these like a solid 3 out of 10. While some people in the comments of the short I made on this topic did say that they enjoyed them, for the people that I tried them with, and for myself personally, I really didn't rate them. So overall, flip strips, avoid them, 3 or 4 out of 10. So next up we have the Ollie skate tracker. Now, I was super excited about this one. I thought this was going to be one of the best, most monumental skate products of all time. I mean, if they got it to work, if they made it do exactly what I was hoping it would, this would be a god tier product. But sadly, it does not live up to expectations. Let me tell you why. So, the way that this one works is the idea would be that you attach it to your skateboard either under the truck or next to the truck. For example, it comes with this little riser pad that you can stick the tracker in, which is the white bit. You can put it under the truck as a riser and you get another one for the other side to keep it level out. Or you can take the white bit out and put it next to the truck here. I haven't tested it next to the truck. Would I trust it not to fall off in a puddle or if you hit like a rough grind or something like that, or you're just a bit off balance? I honestly don't think it would stay on if you didn't put it in the riser. With the riser, it stays on perfectly, but that's not the issue here. So the main issue with this is the software. Ideally, what it's meant to do is you put it on the board, you do a trick, it tells you whether or not you landed the trick, tracks your progress, tracks your stats, tracks how many tricks you've landed, and gives you a score for the whole thing, and ranks you in your country of other people that use the same product. Now, if there was thousands of people that use this and it was a proper competitive market, it would be amazing. And obviously it would have to work properly. Sadly, it constantly thinks that you've done a trick when you haven't, and it will always say, oh, you didn't land this when you did, or you did land this when you didn't. For example, pretend I have the skate tracker on right now. It makes like a little da-da-da when you land a trick and a boo-boo-boo when you don't land a trick, right? All the time, I would pop my board up and it will go da-da-da as if I just landed a trick. For whatever reason, I have no idea why, but it just seems to register the tail as landing a trick, and half the time you'll just do a manual and it'll be like, you didn't land a trick. So the software is extremely buggy. While it did have very, very high potential, the way that it was executed didn't allow that to fully flourish. This was £50 when you first got it, which if it did work the way I wanted it to, would be definitely worth it, but sadly, I cannot recommend this in the slightest. Not only does it not work with tracking the tricks, it also forces you to use riser pads to have it on properly, and for me, that extra height on my trucks, I just don't like it. I can see why some people use riser pads, but they're just not for me, and to be forced into it to try this product, I was not happy, and there was only about 150 people that have even ever bought one of these, so the app leaderboards were barren. Obviously, they can still come back if they fix the software, and I'd definitely be willing to give it a retry, but for now, the Ollie skate tracker chip, it's not for me. Not to mention you have to charge it as well. So think about before you go skate, you have to put your board on charge. How inconvenient is that? But anyway, yeah, could have been amazing, but how it is, could not recommend. 3 out of 10. All right, this next one, sadly I do not have the product with me, but I have plenty of B-roll to put over the top, so we're gonna make it work. That is the quick trucks. Now, some people love them, some people hate them. Most people that I've seen that did love them, a few months later have come to me and said, yeah, they were shit. So it just takes a bit of time to get to know whether or not you like them or not. So of course you're gonna wanna know what quick trucks do and what they actually are. Basically, they're a little riser pad that you put underneath your board. It's made out of metal that you can then hold the 2 buttons on the side and clip the truck off and put a new truck on. But the problem is, to have that next set of trucks ready, you're gonna also have to have a second set of quick truck base plates on the other truck so that you can clip this one off, bang, put the other one on, because they only work with their designated base plates that you put on the truck and one that you put on the board. So if you want to have a second board set up ready to go, you either need to have an extra set of base plates on the trucks or an extra set of riser plates on the board. Now that's not even my main problem with these things. They're expensive, don't get me wrong. I think you spend like $200, $150 for everything that you'd need for 2 boards and 2 setups. Obviously I'll put the correct price on screen now, but that's not the big problem. The big problem for me is the additional weight added to the trucks. For me, personally, I love to be very, very specific about the stuff that I want on my board, the weight. I'm using hollow trucks. I'm making sure that everything is exactly how I want it so that I really get to know my board the best I can. Sadly, the additional weight was a big problem for me. I reached out to the guys that made it and said, is there any way there's a lighter version of this on the market or on the way to the market? And they basically said, if you want it to be normal weight, use it with tens of magnesium trucks. Not only had someone just spent $200 on the package of stuff they need, now you're telling them they need to buy new trucks just to be able to ride it like a normal board. Not only that, with the extra height on top, it's like using riser pads that are made out of metal. It's a big no for me. I can see why people would enjoy it, right? If you're a casual rider, and you just want to ride from A to B, you want a cruiser set of wheels for on the way to the park and a nice street set of wheels or a harder set of wheels when you get to the park, I'm down for that. If you don't care about the weight of your board or the height of your trucks, all the power to you. But for me, personally, I just could not get behind them. I would give them, it's a cool idea again, and like I said earlier, I applaud anybody that gets into the market of creating new things to try and test things out. But for me, the quick trucks and the customer service alongside them, it just was not the one. And 2 final things about the quick trucks. Not only was it really difficult to get the trucks in and out during cold weather, which in the UK is most of the time. And the final point, when I made my original review, I think I did one on Shorts and one on TikTok, the guy that made the trucks got really angry about it. From what I'm told, he went into his Discord community, told everybody to assault my video with comments, and then literally in the space of about 10 minutes, I had about 50 people telling me how amazing quick trucks are and how much they love them because they're part of the army of the community. So some people are very passionate about them. Is that a little bit of a shady way to kind of pivot the direction of someone's review? I think so too. So company itself, not that great. Quick trucks, 2 out of 10. On to the next one. So the Wheelie Pro is number 4, I believe. Yeah. This thing is an absolute bottle of dog water. 2 of these I paid for. I think they were $30 each, so like £25 each, so 50 quid for 2 wheels. You can almost get a set of Spitfires for that price, which is insane because they're like gold dust these days. So let me talk you through what this one does. This one came with some Velcro that attached to the bottom, which was absolutely terrible. It fell off constantly, which is one problem straight off the bat. Now, it was originally set to go on the tail. So you would put the Velcro patch here, put this on there, and then what you would do is when you manualed, so if you sit down on the floor with me, babe, so you can see this. So I'm using the red one so it shows up easier and you can see it better. Basically, you would stick it there, and when the board's like this, when you lean back for a manual, the wheel touches, and you don't have to worry about balancing, you can just ride on the wheel. At first, I thought, this could be a good idea. So I tried it out, I bought 2 of them. Don't know why I bought 2 of them, because the bearings and the wheels are absolutely wank, and the wheels themselves are tiny. But maybe I should buy 2 more and put these on the actual skateboarders' actual wheels. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? Let me know if you want me to do that. I'd do that for fun, for a little short or something. So while the purpose of these are to help you train your manuals and feel more comfortable leaning back on the board, if you put this here as a safety precaution, lean back and get used to that, and then take them off, and go to lean back, expect the wheel to be there, and all of a sudden the board shoots out from under you, I guarantee you, you're going to be worse off. But that's not the only problem. The Velcro on them was absolutely terrible, as I previously mentioned, and it would constantly just fall off while you're riding. And finally, an even bigger problem Once you've got that wheel on the tail, good luck doing any tricks. You try popping with this bad boy on here, you literally just get the most nerfed, wackety ass stuff ever. I'm putting a really old video I did on these on the screen right now so you can kind of see what I mean. But look at this, look. Imagine that's on your tail. The wood of the tail now no longer touches the floor, which is absolutely terrible. It kind of ruins the whole point of doing tricks and the nice satisfying feeling of, you know what I mean? So I would not recommend the Wheelie Pros, and they're also very much overpriced. So avoid those at all costs. Get yourself some proper wheels and just get some wrist guards and a helmet. So there are multiple solutions you can use for this one. You could spend the money on helmet and wrist guards because you are going to fall in skateboarding. It's just part of it. There's no way you're going to get good without ever falling over. And also you could just put your wheel, like this wheel, in a crack and just practice your manual balance that way. It's going to be so much better and you can actually apply it to real life instead of just having a fifth wheel on the back of your board that you can't pop with. Anyway, on to the final product. So the final piece of the part of the puzzle of this video is the Smalle. If you didn't know already, the Smalle is basically just a strip of fabric with a bit of like, what's it called? Elastic rubbery bits on the end so that you put it round the board. It goes around the trucks, so it grips around the trucks like this, and then has a strip that goes across the top. Now obviously you're seeing B-roll while I imagine this in real life, but you put your feet under the strap and then you would do a trick as normally. Originally I thought that you would just like jump up and the board would follow you, but I'm told by the people that made it that you are meant to just do a trick as you normally would and the strap will enhance the height and make the board stick to you. But the problem with this one is, and I tried this with a few people so it's not just my own personal opinion, every time you would try and jump with it and like bring the board up with you, or if you brought your knees up too high, your feet would kind of like go off balance on the strip of fabric and the board would roll over and it would like hit you in the shins, or you'd get tangled up, or like you would go to do a 180, land like this, and all of a sudden you try to step forward and get your feet caught in it. I've got so much footage of this, so you're seeing it on screen right now. But while I applaud them for trying something new, and I think that it could have been a good idea if it was just for fun, because obviously we all know you can put the inner tube around the skateboard from a bike tire and have a bit of fun with that. We've done that many times on the channel, and I absolutely rate that one. But the Smalle itself, sadly, it just doesn't replicate the same fun, and it also doesn't help you learn tricks. And thirdly, it actually makes you injured more often because you're always getting your feet tangled up. So I would avoid that one again. But to be honest, out of all the stuff on this list, it's probably the least egregious one out of all of them. But the price really brings it back down to earth. I think it's like £30, $35 or like something around that. Again, I'll put the price on screen. I might be exaggerating a little bit. I swear it was somewhere between $30 and $40. But anyway, obviously overpriced. Those are my skate gimmicks. Tune in next week to find out the skate gimmicks I actually like. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.